as you know, e-governance and m-governance is going to gain in more importance throughout the length and breadth of the country, and this is where I hope India's strength will continue to lie, and will also help us in global integration in the times to come. Now, PhD Chamber, we always deal with contemporary topics, so that this is of interest not only to the business world but also to the overall society at large. And so we are operating throughout the northern India, and we can facilitate this inter-exchange and dissemination of knowledge throughout the northern part of India. Now, the Indian governments, perhaps a bit less than their global counterparts, are using ICT and e-governance as part of their broader government modernization programs. Several initiatives have been launched which harness the power of ICT to improve government-to-government dealings and also government-to-private dealings. And we have also seen the launch in the income tax, in the excise, in the service tax, in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and now in growing in almost all the sectors, both at the center level, at the state level. Recently there was an announcement that even in the Provident Fund and in the pension funds, the people who are in the unorganized sector, they can go to the web and they can, at the click of a button, they can see all their outstandings in any part of the country for their PF and also for their pensions amount. We have seen the same thing in passport and other government services. Now, but this is only a small part of how IT has been integrated. I think it needs far greater integration. We know that there's a sense of insecurity sometimes in a capital city and many parts of the country. There also, I think IT can be a big boost. I believe there's also a proposal that you must have cameras in every cabs or maybe in every auto rickshaw which ply, and if somebody tampers with it, that itself should become a criminal offense. In Singapore, you'll hardly see any policeman on the roads because it's all camera controlled. Of course, India has a much bigger territory. We may not be able to cover everything, but many critical sectors and many critical traffic points and areas should be covered through this mechanism, and there should be a control room where everybody can observe what is happening and you can come and visit at the drop of the hat. Recently, I also had the opportunity to deal with some police people who are also dealing with the women's problem and the other child abuses cases which has come up recently. And I said, with all the talk of security, why can't you have a system? Like in America, they have a system in many colleges. They have a button. If you are, like my daughter studies in Yale University. So when I went there, there's a parent-teacher orientation course. And they give security to all the parents that, look, this is a security system in the university. And you are very impressed throughout the campus, and it's an open campus. They have camera control. And in many lampposts, you just have a button. If anybody has a problem, just press the button and the police is there in less than 2 minutes. You have plainclothes policemen all around, and you also have volunteers who volunteer to do this job. So this is some of the lessons which we must take in Delhi University and other sensitive locations. Why can't we just have a system? Somebody can push a button in a mobile phone whenever they are feeling threatened. And then if you are not too reliable on the Delhi police, I have our own police security system of the university, and they should be there within 2 minutes, and it should be all camera controlled. This is the way this ICT technology can work, and there should also be a control room so somebody is watching whatever is happening throughout the campus and other sensitive areas. This is all doable. Even in the cab system, as one of the Cars on Rent, for example, is a leading cab rental. They are also a member of the PSC and member of the managing committee. I was discussing with him, and he said he's open to the idea to have a camera, to have a central control room where everybody will keep watching whenever his cab is operating throughout the length and breadth of the country. This is all doable, and this is all which should to pick up to improve the sense of security and also to give a kind of a vibrancy which India needs very badly. All the police stations should also be controlled through this camera and through this ICT, especially in the interrogation rooms. Whenever you're going to file FIR, etc., I think it should be controlled. Delhi Police, of course, has started that you can file an FIR online. Other police stations have not yet adopted it, but I think it should also become mandatory in the times to come. So ICT, as we know, has got a huge potential, and India must use it. We have just begun to using it, but we are nowhere near the American standards. When you see the VIPs in India, you have 3 cars. I mean, of course, the petroleum minister wanted to shut the petrol pumps at 9 p.m., but why does a VIP have to move with 10 cars? I don't understand. Then he has 10 security guards with 10 machine guns. If you go to America, you'll never see it. It is unobstructed. It is totally invisible. Why? Because they're using technology. They are machines. They are machines situated at a distance which you don't even know, and they are scanners. They scan it. There's no need to have so many people trotting behind you as VIP security. This is all an old mindset which I think we need to change. Many sensitive offices should also be camera controlled so that you know what is happening there. We all know that the India story is now, it's already died down, and we need to revive. 5 years ago, everybody wanted to come to India. India was a shining star. I don't know what has happened in the last 5 years. We have just lost it. I was just reading a report of Germany, I think, that they have made a list of 20 countries where the German firms are encouraged to invest. India doesn't find a place in the top 20 countries today. Earlier it was in the top 5 destinations. Why? I do not know. Philippines has overtaken us as a BPO destination. Other countries will also overtake us. Vietnam also has a good demographic ratio. So let us not rest on our laurels. You have to compete in today's world, and we're living in a globalized world. So this is an area where we have to do research, and India has had a good start because there was no government interference. So I'm also sure and I also hope that the people sitting on the dais will come up with solutions which do not require too much interaction with the government, and we can do it through our own entrepreneurial spirit. Recently, the Parliament has passed an act on the appointment of judges, for example. I am a lawyer by practice, but I understand and appreciate that even the appointment of judges should be transparent, should be accountable. There should not be a system or a feeling that only the children or the grandchildren of the judges or the well-connected people get appointed. There should be an objective criteria, and I'm also open to the suggestion that let there also be a kind of a public debate. I'm not suggesting that you go as far as America has done, but you should have a more transparent system throughout the judiciary. We also need more judges, but the judges have to only imbibe IT only to a limited extent. If they make greater use of IT, then I think the delays in our courts can also be reduced to a very large extent. We should use IT in almost all sectors, whether it's in your contracts, whether it's your day-to-day life, whether day-to-day movement, and it's a very good opportunity to all of us. Today we are in a system where the joint family is breaking down. We're living in a nuclear family. So people only have 1 or 2 people at home. So if you have a young child, how do you take care of that? Here also IT can be a big boom for all of us, provided we know how to use it properly. You can also have IT in your cars for security, for surveillance. So there's no end to it. And I'm sure my colleagues will add greater value to this debate, and PSD will take it forward. And if you need any changes from the government, we'll also push it forward with the government, both at the center level and the state level. With this, I welcome all of you once again, and hope we will end with a very enriching and an educated debate on this very important topic. Thank you.